Shri Krishna and Uddhava dialogue, deep knowledge of the difference between body and soul. Lord Krishna imparted profound knowledge of the reality of the soul, body, and the world to his beloved devotee and friend Uddhava. This dialogue is not just a philosophy or doctrine, but a guide for human life. It shows us the path to liberation from the cycle of birth and death, and to understand the eternal nature of the soul. Let us understand it in detail. Sri Krishna says to Uddhava, Dear Uddhava, just as a farmer sows a crop in the field, it grows, ripens, and is finally harvested. But the farmer, who is a witness to this whole cycle, is independent of that crop. Similarly, the soul, which is absolutely pure, eternal, and indestructible, is completely separate from the cycle of birth and death of the body. It is ignorance which forces a man to think that he is the body, whereas the soul is eternal and exists in this world only as a witness. Witness means that a person should become a witness to the joys and sorrows, actions and reactions of his body, mind, and senses. When we are in the state of witness, then we do not get trapped in the web of Maya and the attachment to pleasures. God says, Uddhava, this world is just a game of Maya. It is as unreal as the events seen in dreams. Just like when the water of the river moves, the images of the trees standing on the bank seem to move, while the trees remain still. Similarly, the happiness and sorrow, profit and loss, birth and death of the world are all unreal. Just as the events that happen in dreams have no connection with our waking state, similarly the worldly pleasures have no connection with the soul. But due to ignorance, the soul remains entangled in this illusion and accepts it as the truth. Maya is made up of three qualities, sattva, rajas, and tamas. It traps the soul in the net of these qualities and binds it in the world. Sattva, the quality of wisdom and purity, which leads the soul towards God. Rajas, the quality of activity and enjoyment, which binds the soul to karma. Tamas, the quality of ignorance and laziness, which leads the soul into confusion and delusion. The influence of Maya lasts until the soul recognizes its eternal nature. Shri Krishna explains, Dear Uddhava, the soul is neither born nor dies. It is absolutely free, pure, and immortal. But when the soul comes under the influence of Maya and accepts this body and its pleasures as the truth, then it gets bound. This ignorance makes the soul believe that it is the body. When this body dies, the soul enters the next body. Thus the cycle of birth and death continues. This cycle stops only when the soul recognizes its true nature. Just as in sleep we go from one dream to another and lose the memory of the previous dream, similarly the soul also goes from one body to another and forgets the memory of the previous life. Uddhava asked the Lord, Lord, how can this secret be known? What is the way to understand the eternal nature of the soul? Sri Krishna answered, Adopt a witness attitude. The soul is the witness. Man should observe every activity of his thoughts, actions, senses, and mind with a witness attitude. When man understands that he is not the doer but the witness, then he attains self-knowledge. Identify Maya. The very nature of Maya is to create illusion. The world's happiness and sorrow, success and failure, birth and death, are all games of Maya. Understanding that all this is false frees the soul from the bondage of Maya. The path of devotion and meditation. Through devotion, meditation, and surrender to God, the soul realizes its eternal nature. Love and devotion towards God takes the soul out of the web of Maya. Practice renunciation and detachment. When a man renounces sensual pleasures and gives up attachment and ego, then he is able to see the divine form of the soul within him. Sri Krishna said to Uddhava, This world is like a dream. As long as the soul believes this dream to be true, it remains trapped in the cycle of birth and death. But just as the dream ends when one wakes up, similarly when one attains self-realization, the soul becomes free from the bondage of the world. The nature of the soul is bliss. It is neither bound to anything nor is it dependent on anyone. This body is only a medium. Just as we do not change when we change our clothes, similarly the soul does not change when we change our body. The soul has neither birth nor death. It is eternal. The essence of this profound teaching of Lord Krishna is that to understand the difference between the soul and the body, we have to adopt the attitude of a witness. The material pleasures of the world and the web of Maya have to be considered false. When a person realizes that the soul is eternal and independent, only then he gets free from the cycle of birth and death and reaches the state of supreme bliss. These teachings of Sri Krishna teach us to recognize the true nature of the soul, free ourselves from the bondage of Maya, and make attaining salvation the goal of our lives.